Hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Our Community Access. I'm John Ochin, subbing for Bill Service. This week we'll be on the air in the air as we accompany local authorities in a gravel pit inspection. We got an update from the manager of NODA, then we checked in with Parks and Rec on their latest building. And finally, it's our Dog of the Week from Canine Rescue. All today on Our Community Access. Every year, Oxford Township wants to check on our gravel pits. Our Terry Stiles went along for the ride.
Okay, Bill, it's not just a normal day at the office. I am at the Legacy Center in Oxford with Jack Curtis.
Hello.
Jack and I are about to go up on a routine inspection for the Oakland County Sheriff Department, as well as the Gravel Inspection Committee yearly sojourn, right, Jack?
Yes.
Can you talk about it a little bit?
Sure. Once a year we do an annual gravel inspection of all of our gravel pits in the township to ensure that all the mining operations are being done correctly in the gravel overlay, number one. Number two, we check to make sure all hazardous materials are being handled correctly. We make sure that things aren't being buried where they're not supposed to be in the holes they dig. And we respond to customer concerns about erosion or illegal fences or things like that. And we go in and make sure that it's all remediated.
So, Bill, in about 20 minutes, that's going to be us. So maybe you could explain why we're in this wonderful limo.
We are in the wonderful limo courtesy of the Oakland County Sheriff's Department. We're doing the 2016 gravel inspection. And what you can see from the ground is nothing compared to what you can see from the air. Over the air you can find spots and areas that the overlay is being mined in, and you can see the spots that are being reclaimed from a different angle.
So we have 3 gravel pits in Oxford that the township does this yearly inspection on?
Yes, there's 3 gravel pits. One is inactive, that's Sandman on Drainer Road. The Koenig property, which we're over right now, is about 1,200 acres, and they are actively mining. And the Levy Corporation has many properties around, but it all operates under the Levy Aggregate Group.
Does this also give you an opportunity? You are on the Gravel Inspection Committee. You're also on the Township Board. You wear many hats. Does this give you an opportunity to also just kind of do an overall check on how the community is doing, how the ecology in our community is doing?
That gives us an opportunity to see all the wonderful things that are going on, the developments, the pre-developed properties, and all the communities that are subsectioned off in the township. For example, right now we're over, well, there's my community right below us, out on Grampian Drive. But it does give us a chance to get a different perspective on what's being developed and what's active. As you can see, this is Koenig Gravel Pit. That's the site of where they shot the some of the Batman Superman movie there at the abandoned elevator towers. You can see that Peter does utilize his property by leasing out some of the areas for parking. For example, they have Cap and Tree Service who's doing all the power line clearing in Addison, Oxford townships. They park their vehicles there overnight. He leases his property back to them and earns some revenue from that. Like for example, right now what I'm seeing is Peter is reclaiming all of the old concrete monuments that used to hold the barge. Well, he's gathering it all and putting it in a pile, and he's going to rent a crusher to come in and crush that concrete up. This has been a gravel pit for hundreds, about 100.
1800s, I think you told me.
1880, I think it says.
Yeah.
And here he's actively mining, and you can see the stockpiles of material that he has for sale.
Now the areas that there are areas that are mined out, or that he's done mining at this particular gravel pit, he's remediating that
Yes.
for buildable lots or something, so that the township doesn't have to in the event that he moves out of there.
Well, Peter has a reclamation plan. When this property is done mining and all the gravel resources are taken out, it is zoned SF3, I believe, right now, where it's 5 acres plus, SF2, 5 acre plus parcels that are buildable lots. A developer will come in and have to put the roads and infrastructures in. So his remediation process, you can see he has roadways with buildable lots on both sides of it, and they've already started. The lake lot properties, which are, this lake is a beautiful dredged lake where they've mined for many, many years, and it'll soon become a recreation area. Right below us is where the Griggs company leased a spot so they could test their military amphibious vehicles. They had a quad runner that turned into a boat, and they would test it out on the lake and then travel all through these mining property roads.
So he not only has been giving to this community tax-wise and business-wise, but he's actually still concerned about the future of this community by reclamating that property rather than just leaving holes and hills everywhere. They've done our community well.
Yes, you can see down below us right here, there's what's turned into like farm property actually. I know he rents the property to deer hunters.
Oh, right.
And they've food plotted it out, but it's all flat land now where it used to be mined, and you can see those spots that the trees are missing. They flattened those out. In areas over here to the left of us where they're actively mining, naturally they have to move overburden and then remove the resources, and then they'll reclaim it once it's done. What is absolutely beautiful is that you can see the football field down below there.
Yeah,
All the
fantastic.
activity going on around it. We have the Rapid Ridge apartments being constructed,
And that's phase one.
phase 1,
Okay.
and those will be available for rental in spring of 2017.
And then will they also start phase two consecutively, or do they have a plan on that for that, guys?
They have a plan, and they have it segmented out. As one starts, gets filled up, or they start return on investment, they'll start their second phase. And part of one of the wonderful keys in Oxford is beautiful Boulder Point. This waterstone development from the air is a whole lot different than it is from the ground, that's for sure.
Now, is the Waterstone development finished, or do they have more plans?
Well, there's still construction going on. There's several lots that are available in there. I know that some of our developers are building homes on a regular basis. A lot of activity. Not everybody gets a chance to drive around through these communities, but yes, some luxurious homes set up in woods. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it gives you a totally different perspective.
It sure does.
The mixed use of the farmland and
The diversity we have here in Oxford
Yeah,
with
yeah.
quadrants of horse farms, quadrants of nice homes, and quadrants of suburban estates.
right, everything you could possibly need is here. Now, what lake is this? This is another gravel pit lake down there?
I believe they call that, that's right across from the Township Hall operation. That used to be
Didn't even know.
absolutely phenomenal.
And it doesn't hurt that it's there's beautiful fall colors out here.
Well, this is the way I like to play golf right here.
Yeah. We just got back from a helicopter tour of the gravel pits in Oxford, and I am with one of the owners of the Koenig gravel pit, Peter Fredericks. That's a cool thing that they do, and I'm really impressed with how beautiful your property is out there in Lakeville Road. You've been working with the township for quite a while, right?
Yes, we've actually had a dozer out there for the last 5 years reclaiming the property, and a beautiful day to go see it from the top. And now they'll go through and we'll drive around the property and they'll take a look at it from ground level.
So Jack was explaining that some of that property is remediated, all ready for the future, right? But you still have a working gravel pit there.
Yes, it's a small scale pit, and we're still digging material, and we're trying to reclaim as we go. And so we're trying to work from west to east, and then get the lakes prepared for future development. And hopefully we can have some beautiful neighborhoods here in the future.
You're a good neighbor in this community and have been for a really long time, and I am so impressed with how beautiful your property is. Yes. And the good care that you take of that property. Thank you for doing that for us. You're not just shipping out and leaving it like it is. And thank you for being such a good business partner to this community.
It's been great. I have to say the gentlemen from the township have been very good to work with. They've been trying to help us with business and try to make things work as opposed to just saying no. So we work together, and it's been helpful for both of us, and ultimately it'll be more beneficial for the property.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for talking with us today.
Great. Appreciate it.
It was a great ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Thank you.
Bill, I'm sorry to say this trip is over with, but the work is not done. I'm still here with Jack Curtis. Jack, now you need to go back and give a report on what you saw today.
Well,
give us a little bit of a heads up on what you're going to talk about.
What we're going to do now is we're going to physically go and drive around the Koenig property to just justify all the things that we have to do in our gravel inspection, checking the checklist off and reporting back to the community. All of this is held on file at the township office in the annual gravel inspection. We'll report out to the township board and the planning commission on our findings, and like I said, all these records will be held in the township office.
Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for keeping such a good eye on the environment in our community. Tough job you got there.
Oh, well, it's trying to give back to the community is all I'm trying to do.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Jerry.
See you later.
What a great view. Good job, Terry. Next up, our crew visits with the manager of NODA, again with the story, Terry Stiles.
Hi, Bill. I bet you can't guess where I'm at. I'm in Lake Orion, which is the home for NODA, North Oakland Transportation Authority, and I'm with Lynn Gustafson, and I'm here to talk to her about how they have made riding easier for their ridership. Lynn, you have 2 new vans, sort of new, right? They've been around for the last 6 months, and you're telling me that this van has a different kind of lift. So what's going on with these?
Yeah, so we're really excited. We actually received 9 new vehicles in 2016 out of our fleet of 20, and 8 of those vehicles were the Ford Transit Connect wagon, and one was a unique vehicle which we haven't received, which is called an MV1. The MV1 is really unique because it was designed for disabled in mind from the ground up. And the difference is it has a ramp, a power ramp, and the power ramp is a lot easier for the disabled to get in and out versus the power lift that we have in all our other vehicles. And it's just unique. It's built by AM General, which is a company that build the Hummers and the Humvees, a military vehicle. So it's a heavy-duty vehicle, and it's great for our off-roads, and we're really excited about it.
And it looks like it would be really good on gas mileage as well. It looks like it's just a really efficient vehicle. And funding for these vehicles, let's talk a little bit about that. Where did the funding come from?
If we were to purchase the vehicle outright, it would cost us $47,000 just for the MV1. But luckily, we received grants for 8 of our 9 vehicles that we got this year. So our total grants just in vehicles this year was over $270,000. So it's been wonderful. It's been easy.
You guys are doing so good. Let's talk again. I know we've done it before about your ridership. Your area sort of expanded a bit this year, or in the last year and a half or so. You didn't have Addison for a while. What is the numbers what are the numbers that you have in your ridership now?
We're about 35,000 rides a year that we give to the seniors, disabled, and low-income residents of Orion, Oxford, and Addison townships. We're glad Addison is back in with us, and we have expanded our boundaries a little. We've gone all the way now to Van Dyke, so we encompass Romeo as well. So that's our additional service area that we go.
And your ridership, you take people to jobs, medical appointments, grocery shopping. There's a priority in what they need and what you can accommodate, but you do pretty much everything for them, right?
We sure do. We do. We take them to work, like you said, grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, community events, senior centers, wherever they need to go, even a haircut. But we do prioritize based on appointments, and then we try to schedule all the other appointments around those.
Very good. And the criteria for them to be able to use your services are what?
You have to be a senior, disabled, or low income, and you have to be also a resident of Orion, Oxford, or Addison townships.
I think it's a fantastic service, and I think that you and your staff are doing really, really well with this community. It just keeps growing and growing, the Notice services, and we're proud of it, and thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're very excited to have the new vehicles. I think it sets a better image, to NOTA in the public, and I think the new rides are more comfortable, they're quieter, and like you said, better gas mileage and lower repair costs. So we're very excited.
That's what I was going to say, less maintenance and comfort, security, and everything else for your riders. Thank you, Lynn. And we're going to look around and look inside your new van.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
Back to you, Bill. I'm going to go have a look.
Thanks, Terry. Terry had a busy week. Next, she finds out the latest from Oxford Parks and Rec.
Hi, Bill. So it's just another day at the office, and I love my job. I am out at Seymour Lake Park with Ron Davis, Director of the Parks and Recs of Oxford Township. Ron, there's a new building behind us. How long has that been going on? And it looks like it's about to be done. This is phase 1 of your entire park makeover project, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We started this back in September. It's 50 by 100, so it's going to allow us to move Jeff and his staff back here. He currently occupies the maintenance barn in the front of the Seymour Lake Park. So we're going to move Jeff back here as phase 1. Part of phase 2 would be converting the current maintenance barn into the Parks and Rec offices. We're going to start that probably in January, February. And then phase 3 will be the addition of the senior center on the end of that current facility up front. So it's pretty exciting out here.
Tell me about the funding for that. I know you have fought long and hard to be able to make these moves, to make it easier on the staff, as well as you've also purchased property to expand the park, right?
Yeah, we did. We had a vision, several years ago to buy some property, which we did, knowing that someday we maybe have to do something like this. So luckily we were visionaries and we did that. A lot of the funding is coming from the township. They were kind enough to give $262,000 to us to make this happen. The Parks and Rec threw in $100,000 from our fund equity, and it's nice. I think we had $180,000, but we're ones to spend the money, not to sit on it. So, and then for phase 3, some of the funding that come from the sale of the Vets Hall will be used to complete phase 3. So it's been a true community effort to get us where we're at today. It's long overdue.
It's overdue, and it shows how important the people in the community are to you guys. Now, what about grant funding? Are you able to get any kind of grant funding for the upgrades for the park?
We've been fortunate in the past to use Michigan DNR Trust Fund grants. We purchased Oakwood Lake on that. We did the development of Powell Lake. We've done some stuff here at Seymour. But for a project of this, there's no funding available through a grant. But we'll certainly continue to look at grants when time becomes available. The key is to have the fund equity to match those grants. And unfortunately, with our budget, we're proud that we collect the lowest out of everybody besides NODA. Yet I think we provide just as much as anybody. So we're pretty proud of that.
On your millages.
On our millages, that's correct. Yep.
And that's a 50-50 match all of a sudden, too.
Correct. And yeah, if you can match it 50-50, you're going to score higher points. So it's, those who have the money, typically score higher.
So driving back here, I should mention we're off of Coates Road. Actually, you can enter this area by the park, but that's not for the public. What's going to happen with it? You said there's 14 acres and 7 acres purchased attached to the park. What happens with that property there?
The 14 acres we purchased back like in 2009, 2010 from Roy Harrison. When we did that, we purchased it just to have open space for soccer and for the kids to play. And ultimately it worked out because that's where everybody parks for Seymour Celebration. So without that acquisition, we certainly wouldn't be able to do those types of events or the big tournaments that we just had here this last weekend. So we purchased that, and then we purchased a 7-acre patch farm that we're standing on now. That allowed us to have access to Coates Road. Prior to that, we had an easement from the patches just to do it for Seymour Celebration. But the drive to Coates Road will be used 3 times a year for the 2 lacrosse tournaments and Seymour Celebration, and that's based on the recommendation of our police and fire for emergency. Other than that, it's just going to be strictly for Jeff and his maintenance staff. It won't be a public access ingress, egress to Coates Road.
But you have so much elbow room now at the park. I can recall a time years ago, maybe even before you got here, we were parking on the grass and there wasn't enough room for all the teams that were growing in Oxford, and they're growing and growing. So you guys are doing a terrific job.
Thank you. Yeah, I was kind of reflecting on the 20 years I was sharing the story with somebody when I started here in 95. Seymour pretty much consisted of 4 tennis courts and 8 baseball fields. And look where we've come now. So it's just, it's the support of the community. I'm very fortunate to be here as the director, but I have the best staff. It's the win-win for everybody, and the staff really appreciates the community and everything they do for us. So it's just a way to give back.
Long-standing staff, which says a lot for you as the director and this community. They're giving, they understand what is needed around here, and for the community, I want to thank you and your staff for everything that you do for Parks and Rec.
Well, thank you. It's our pleasure. We enjoy it.
I'm going to go talk to Jeff.
Do that.
So first, let me apologize to the cameraman, Dan Zweiss. We're dragging him through the mud today. I understand we're still at the Parks and Rec's barn, and I'm with Jeff, the superintendent of parks for all of Oxford Township. And today they're going to start putting cement in here, or the trucks are going to come in. You're going to be in here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, we're looking at, hopefully we'll be in this building within a month, getting everything finished up. The concrete will go today. We've got electrical to finish, all our heating, everything's still got to go yet. It's a process, and it's been a long one, but we're getting there, as you can see.
It's a beautiful barn. Tell me what this space does for you and how you function throughout all of the parks, not just Seymour Lake Park, but all of our parks in this community, which are growing and growing.
They are. What it's going to enable us to do is keep all our equipment here. Right now, we have equipment at Stony, we have equipment at Stornlock, we have stuff all over the township, and we have to go get it, bring it back, because we just don't have the space. But now this will enable us to do everything right here. It'll be right hands-on and go. So that'll be a lot better for us time-wise.
So we spoke to you this summer out at Oakwood Lake Park. Thank you for that tour. It was wonderful. So give us an update on how all the parks are doing and what happens after this building phase, what you're going to do next.
Well, after this building, we're going to start on phase 2 up front, like Ron said, and then it'll be phase 3, so that'll be a work in progress also. Oakwood, the disc golf course is finished and up and running, and from what we hear, a lot of support out there. They like it, so that's a good thing. It's getting a lot of people in that park. So, and we're waiting to see if our millage goes in November to see what we're going to do from there, because all the parks will get some major improvements if that goes. So that's exciting too. So a lot of needed things that have to happen. So
So you guys just don't put your feet up in the wintertime because there's snow out here, right?
Actually, we're pushing snow all winter. So we keep all the parks open. Now that Stoney's open year-round, we keep that plowed all the way down to the ramp so people can ice fish. All the parks stay open. We maintain all our equipment. And it's year-round, and it keeps us busy. It's never the same thing every day, that's for sure.
And I want to thank you. I thanked Ron for the community. I want to thank you for the community. You've been great to us this summer, educating us on what we have right here in Oxford Township. And thanks for the hard work that you do.
And I think that's the key is educating everybody. Mm-hmm. We can all see what we do out here. You know, you see it firsthand, it helps. So that's great. We appreciate you guys coming out too.
As much as I don't like snow, I think we'll visit you out here this winter coming up.
Yeah, we'll take you back to the lake at Oakwood. Maybe we can get some guys out there fishing or something. Yeah, that'd be fun.
And ice skating, hot chocolate, the whole bit. I'm all ready to do that now. Back to you, Bill.
Well, it's time for another Dog of the Week from the Canine Rescue League.
Hi, I'm Karen from Canine Stray Rescue out here in Oxford on Metamora Road. We've got our friend Buddy, we have Junior with us today. Yeah, Junior is one of our senior dogs. He's been with us for a little while now. You know, he does enjoy going for walks. Not too far, and he definitely would love to watch your favorite TV show with you on the couch. He's probably around maybe 7 to 9 years old, yellow lab mix. Right now he's just having his afternoon siesta. He did go for a little walk earlier. Junior is up to date on all his shots, rabies and distemper. He also was tested for heartworm. He was negative. He has been neutered. Whoops, little fly there. He has been neutered, and as all of our dogs are at the kennel, we give him the heartworm pill on the 15th of the month. He's, I think he's going to start snoring here with us. We are located north of town. We also go to Petco. He was actually at Petco with us this past weekend. We are at Petco by Great Lakes Crossing on the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of the month. And we are also at Pet Stuff Harvest Time just down the road from here on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of every month. Yep, I know, buddy. Junior, you're looking for a buddy, aren't you? Yes, yes you are. We don't have any major events coming up or anything like that, but we are always looking for volunteers. We have a new volunteer orientation once a month. If you are interested in that, walking dogs, we have people doing laundry here, whatever you may want to do. Maybe come out and take a look at Junior here, maybe take him for a walk, see what you think. We also we probably have around 50-55 dogs here. We are always getting new dogs in on usually once or twice a week. As you can see, Junior here is kind of a little bit on the calmer side. So if you're looking for a dog that doesn't need a whole lot of upkeep and wear and tear on you, come out, take a look at Junior and see what you think. Maybe you'll fall in love, or maybe you'll see somebody else here that catches your eye.
That's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed our program. So for our reporter and editor, Terry Stiles, I'm John Ochins. Bill will be back next week. Have a great week.
OCTV brings you some humor to relieve the excitement of local meetings. Watch Elgin and David explain the local politics with Minutes by Minutes. Weekdays at 11:30 in the morning and 10:30 in the evening, keeping it local.
I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny. Each week, catch us on Minutes by Minute.
Don't miss it.